The views and opinions expressed by guests and or comments are those of the persons who submitted them and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of In the Clutch Sports Talk and More podcasts. Any content provided by guests are of their opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company of any individual or anyone or anything.
Or anything.
Probably need to say that for sure tonight.
Yeah, buddy. We live.
We live.
Are we live?
We are live.
Okay.
Who's gonna be the first one to pop in the comment section tonight?
Look, I'm gonna put her name in there right now. Look at
There you go. There you go. She right there.
Look, we came on and 701 at the same time. Look who name I already had on there.
That's our buddy. That's our buddy. That's our buddy. Our buddy.
What's up, girlfriend?
Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday.
Number one clutcher.
She be on it. She got that notification and she went straight to it. That's what I'm talking about.
See, she the prototype. She, you know. We need to.
I like it.
We need to.
There go my cousin Johnella. Jello, what's up?
Hey, Johnella. Hey, Johnella.
She won far behind, LaTanya.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope this don't get too it depends. It might get a little heated.
Yeah, it should. It. I ain't gonna say it shouldn't. As long as you got that woman up there with that short hair up there, it probably.
It all depends. There go your buddy, Terry.
So who are you speaking?
Who? Oh, hey, Pat. What up, Pat?
Hey, Miss Patricia.
Look at that. His whole demeanor changed. He happy
I
now.
know. Y'all talking about how long we gonna be on? Now you happy?
Yeah, I'm good.
Whew.
Yeah, this gonna be it's gonna be interesting. I tell you, I've been from the podcast that I usually listen to. There's several I listen to, and this has been the hot topic of most of them. And you know, everybody got their own take on it and all that. So,
what we talking about? I'm just
wow.
playing. I'm just playing. I had to do it. I had to do it.
I was gonna say, now I know you should know.
You know I know.
We're gonna give a few more. We're gonna give a couple more minutes, get a few more people in here so we can get started. We'll get started on the all of sad news, but we'll get started on the Kyren Lacy thing first.
Yeah.
It's just tragic. Young man had potential, and so they just get off track. I mean, that's the only way I can say it. They just get off track.
Yeah.
It's almost like the repeat cycle. You just hear it over and over and over and over again. I don't know why people. I mean, I guess we used to do it. I didn't do it to that extent. I was never. I was never a speed demon. Like I go a little fast, but these folks doing 115, 120. I don't want to go that fast.
LaTanya, you can get one, sweetheart. Hold on, let me let you see. Hold on. You can get you one. You sure can. Let me advertise. See, they were supposed to have theirs on, but they ain't put it on tonight. But look. Can you see the back?
You breaking up, but yeah, we can see it representing that 901.
Yeah.
Or the QR code on the sleeve. Got the QR code, so you can they can walk up to you. They can scan it off your shirt. We got to lay it flat though, but you got it on there. You got to lay it flat.
Hey, I think we should give a discount to our number one clutcher, so she can get her a shirt and wear her shirt when we come on.
I think we need to sell it with the QR code so everybody be walking billboards, walking advertising. Instead of telling people they can go ahead and like, share, and subscribe, just tell them, hold the phone up to the side of my shirt. Watch them do it. Watch them subscribe right there in your face. So
they will do it.
Yeah. So
okay, we got a few people in here. And Terry got somewhere to be at a certain time, I guess, tonight. So let's go ahead.
Yes, I do.
Let's
I ain't got no problem leaving it to you and ShoNuff, man.
We know.
I got, this last day of taxes. I got a couple more tax returns. Make sure I get off. Well, I ain't got a rush now, but I'm still finna try to get them off tonight. But let's go ahead and get the show kicked off. You are tuned in to Real Talk, where if it ain't real, we don't talk about it. The topics are never ending, so if you're ready for some real talk, you're in the right place. Can't wait to hear what the crew got to say this week. Welcome to Real Talk. I am your host, D. Early. I am joined by ShoNuff, ShoNews, and the world famous, we're going to give him that title, T. Will.
Man, don't stop.
Well, on the other shows, you say I don't hype you up enough, so I just had to give you a little more.
That's too much. That's too much.
Hey, we ain't for lose, man.
I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing what I'm hired to do.
All right.
I'm paid to be here. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy Tuesday.
Yeah, good Tuesday. I love Tuesdays. Show day. Time to get things started. Okay, we got two topics that we're gonna touch on today. We're gonna talk about Kyren Lacy. And for those that don't know who this young man is, he's a young football. He was a young football player. He played at LSU, had aspirations of playing in the NFL, but he ran into some trouble after the season. And what basically happened was he was speeding, and he wasn't in a wreck, but he caused a wreck where some people were killed. And he was going to be going to court to face, the charges of vehicular homicide and reckless driving and all of that. But in the midst of that, the pressure of facing that, and the pressure of not being like, I don't know if he was a top tier receiver that was going to get drafted by the NFL, but his prospects of going diminished after this incident. And if you watch football and the NFL has a history of players, for whatever reason, speeding in vehicles. It ain't just NFL, it's NBA, sports,
all of it.
have a reputation, and it's like they just don't learn. And unfortunately, this young man, he ended up I guess he just snapped, to be honest. I mean, he was like 2 days away from his court date, and he ended up he disarmed his pistol at a family residence and fled the scene. And in the process of him fleeing the scene, he was a police chase ensued. And from what the statement said is that he took his life. He took his life in the car speeding and ended up crashing. So when the police officers tried to retrieve him out of the car, they said he was already deceased from an apparent gunshot wound.
Yeah.
So, that's sad. I mean, like what's the take on why kids Well, I know why they do it, but like just being reckless at a young age.
Well, to me, it's these kids these days are feel like they're invincible. Number one, they feel like that nothing can hurt them. They're above the law. And first of all, let me give out condolences to his family. Very sad. Like Daryl said, this right here was sad, but also as parents, you have to continue. We all make mistakes, and he made a huge mistake with the criminally negligent uh, homicide charge that he was about to go through. So it's safe to say that he was going to get some time out of this,
Yeah.
and not only that he was going to get some time out of it, he got, and I don't want to say blackballed by the NFL because the NFL did the right thing. I mean, when it's not like they singled him out. They got a law, with these professional sports. It's negative image when it's sort of like you reward people for bad behavior. And professional sports and the image of teams, they just can't afford that now. So he knew that. So his one shot of the dream that he loved to do and all that was pretty much out the window. Then he caused somebody's death. So he was sort of going through like this depressive type state. And a lot of times you can, your kids, so you can ask somebody, "Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine," and they're not. So it's to me, you got to find a way, us as parents or even friends or anything like that, that don't just take what a person says. You got your little spidey sense. You can tell when something's wrong or somebody got something heavy on them and all that. Don't just don't let it go, because situations like this, I'm sure that family thought that their son would come home that night, and he didn't. So it's just very sad, just very sad.
Yeah, I agree. It is very sad. Um, but I don't know. I think I kind of disagree on the thing of that he may have been found guilty. Because from what I read, he didn't like he didn't touch one of the cars. What he did was he crossed the center line while he was speeding and caused two other cars to collide. And then the man died. The 78-year-old man died uh from that collision. But they're saying he was the cause of that. So he was the catalyst of it. So, and that he didn't return to the scene of crime. But his father also said, like Terry was saying, that check on your kids, and when they say they're okay, be sure that they're okay. Because I'm pretty sure they weighed on heavy on his mind, knowing that he, was the catalyst of, had it not been for him, that wreck wouldn't have happened and that man would have died. And they probably weighed on him uh very heavy. And to be losing in the football thing, and then to be possibly facing jail, probably sent him over the edge, and he felt like that was the only way he could get out of it, I guess. So yeah, you're absolutely right. Um Child, oh, I'm itching. uh but yeah, so yeah.
It's yeah, it's I mean, like I know we did stuff growing up. We 18, 19, 20 years old. We did some stuff. So we not above,
Right.
like we weren't perfect. But it just seemed like it's happening more frequently now. And I don't know if it's because the way the news cycle is, the way social media stuff does get out there sooner and faster and more abundantly. But it's like, do the kids get it? Do they understand the dangers of the things that they're doing? Like I said, I mean we drove fast or whatever, when we were young. I was in the military, so I'm balling coming from North Carolina trying to make it to Memphis, probably doing, going faster than I should be going, but not to the level of I'm driving fast in a straight line. I'm not swerving in and out of traffic. I'm not putting anybody else's life in danger and stuff like this. So I just, and you feel for the young man because it's like he probably knew I ain't making it to the it's hard enough to get to the NFL anyway.
Right.
And I think I read somewhere where they were saying where, he was on the draft board, not a first round pick, but like a second round, maybe third round pick. And then after the incident, he was not on the list on any round. So like you said, Terry, I ain't saying they blackballed him, but I'm saying, they probably looked at it and said, for one, he probably not going to be available.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah. So, and I think blackball was, I think I used the wrong word, because when I'm saying blackball, it makes it seem like it's the league's fault that, he won't make it. It was due to a choice of his own. This ain't because of the league. This is something that he brought upon himself. And that's one thing we got to start talking about is taking accountability. Right. And that's something that these people just don't do. That people don't take accountability, and we always want to blame and say this, but let's think about it. He caused the accident of a 78-year-old person. That's somebody's father, mother, or I'm not sure the gender, but somebody lost somebody near and dear to him. That could have been one of my parents. Could have been one of your parents. So accountability means a lot, and it's sad, tragic that he felt like he had to take his life. But it's accountability means a lot, and I just hope somebody learns from it. There's so much crazy stuff going on in the world. You would think that I'm one of the type of people that I like to learn from other people's mistakes instead of learning from my own. If I see somebody else get in trouble for doing that, I ain't finna do it. It's sort of like the little kid when you growing up. You know how he first put his hand on that stove and burned himself. Guess what? You ain't got to never worry about that little kid touching that stove no more. You remember when we was growing up, we was doing things what we weren't supposed to be doing. You touch that stove and it burn you.
Yeah, I ain't gonna tell you how I got electrocuted one time.
Yeah, but like I say, it's sad all the way around. It's the world we live in. It's just I don't know. I don't know.
And and I know the coaches, the staff, the school, I know they preach about this stuff and they tell you, this is dangerous. This, the NFL just had this not too long ago when Henry Ruggs flying in his whatever kind of car, Corvette or whatever it was, and killed those people. And of course that ended his NFL career. So it's like you're not learning from the mistakes that other people are making. And it's sad. And then, I don't know how much time he was associated with that, how much time he would have got for once he went to trial or whatever. But your life is not, your dreams might be shattered a little bit, but your life is not over. Right. You still got a life. You still can be a productive citizen and all of that. But I get it, when you feel
young.
Yeah, you
and normally criminally negligent homicide is which they would do it is typically for somebody who ain't never been in trouble, something like this, like 3 to 7 years. Yeah, not saying you have to do the whole time, but he was gonna do some time. On the low end, he was gonna do at least 3 years.
Yeah.
From the research I've done. And that's for a person with a squeaky clean record. If he was already a known felon and all that, naturally, the time would be more. But so he was looking at that too. That's pressure, man. And you got to realize he's still he still was a kid. He's still 24 years old. So you still young.
I don't even think he was that old. I think it was
He may not have been that old, but
21.
For you to kill somebody, your dream of playing in the NFL probably gone, and then the possibility of jail time, those three things by itself, I mean, that's tough to deal with.
Right. And the one thing I want to add to that is, as parents, grandparents, like his father said, check on your kids. You know, you know them better than anybody, and you can tell when something ain't right with them. And we can't be afraid to go to counseling and to sit down and talk about our problem. You know, like I didn't like going to marriage counseling, but I can understand, you know, counseling in situations like this, because it's a situation that, as a parent, you ain't went through your child killing somebody, so how you really don't even know how to handle that. Uh, but I think the most important thing is that we do stay in tune with our kids, and we do check on them, and we do make sure they're okay, and don't don't be afraid to say, hey, let's go seek some help. Let's, to make sure that you are okay. And it's tragic. Condolences to his family, condolences to the 78-year-old's family. It's sad all the way around. But like I said, one of the reasons I wanted to do this was, we want, on all our shows, we want people to get something out of it. And part of what I want, parents and grandparents and all and the like is to make sure you check on your kids. Make sure that they are okay. Even if they say, yeah, I'm good, I'm cool, especially the young men, because we raise them up to be, to hold in that tear. Don't be emotional, and sometimes they hold it in too long, and bad things happen.
Absolutely, I agree.
Now, unless y'all got something else on that subject, we gonna take a quick commercial break so we can get to the hot topic that I'm sure everybody's ready to tune in on, and that is the Karmelo Anthony, not the basketball player, young man. We'll get to that, but right now we're gonna do some self-promotion. T Will, here you go.
Are you in need of a trusted notary to legalize your important documents? Look no further than Terry Williams Notary Services. Whether it's affidavits, real estate documents, business agreements, or binding marriage certificates, you sign it, he'll seal it. With a commission in the state of Tennessee, he provides reliable, accurate, and professional notary service. For fast, friendly, and professional service, contact Terry Williams Notary Services today. Call 901-503-0564 or email twilliams7296@gmail.com.
All right. Big shout out as always to Daryl for getting my nice little flyer together, and ShoNuff for putting her words on it and all that. So for all your notary needs, please see me. I'm on Facebook. You got the number and all that stuff. Oh, he got the number scrolling at the bottom. You got okay. So yeah. So I got it. All that stuff is scrolling right there at the bottom. And also, for those that don't know, Tennessee has now become one of 5 states that the notary can legally marry you. So for those that want to get married, you might see somebody you fall in love with overnight. Come see me. I got a deal for you. And no, Joe, before you ask, I do not marry animals. Okay? It has to be human. I would get in trouble for notarizing paperwork trying to marry you and whatever animal decide to tell you they do. So don't but anyway, on a serious note, we do everything now. We can do one-stop shops. I can come to you for a fee. We can definitely do all that. So I appreciate again ShoNuff and D for getting that set up. It's wonderful. I've already gotten 2 referrals based off of the commercial that you guys did on the page. So I actually did one yesterday. Did a lease signing for somebody trying to rent out one of their apartments to their tenants and stuff. So she got had everything in there. So so I got my first tenant lease out the way. So I appreciate it.
And yeah, great job. And whatever couple, the first couple that comes and allows T Will to marry you, I'm paying for that one. You just gotta let me record the ceremony. But I got that one.
Hey, I'm telling you, I'm gonna be the one to get your vows. So forget about the normal vows that you would tell each other. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna talk for you. I'm gonna do all that for the very low price. We'll talk about that though. But I can marry you though. Now, if you want your own pastor or whatever to marry you, you just want me to come and just notarize your papers afterwards, I could do that. Or if you want me to put the little white, no, that's blasphemy. I can't put the white collar around there. I'll get Daryl to create me a robe or something with a T-wheel collar or something around it. I don't want to, that'd be blasphemy. Yeah, Daryl and Sherita create me something where I could wear and get me a gavel with T-wheel on it or something where I could hit it once you say I do, I can hit it, sign your notarize, and then hit the thing and say you're officially married, like you be in the courtroom. So I'm gonna be creative with it. And Daryl probably will pay it because but Daryl will try to do that in videotape because he'll try to make me like a fool. He wants to videotape it and use it for his own blooper reel. I know what he want to do.
I'm using it to help promote you even more.
Sure,
that's all.
Let's get to the topic of the day.
I'm using it to promote you even more. Terry,
that's my guy, DJ Ken. That's my guy, man. That's love. See, we gonna get to this next topic, but this is one example that I love this type of stuff. He didn't even have to sit up there and do that. This is what we all should be doing. Try to build each other up and help each other out. And we just don't see that. Seem like after our generation, we don't do that. We don't do that anymore. So DJ Ken, Daryl, can you take care of that for DJ Ken for me?
No problem. Now
okay,
we go from the good to the bad.
Right.
Motherfucker. But I deserve it. I threw the first jab. White shot college, motherfucker. Okay.
Research the road. Research the road. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not gonna get started.
Let's stay on course.
Okay. All right.
For those not familiar with the situation with Karmelo Anthony and what was the other kid's name that passed away?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Austin Metcalf.
Yeah, Austin Metcalf. Yeah, it was. I was trying to remember if that was his name or his dad's name, but yeah, it was Austin Metcalf. And what was you about to say, Tia?
No, I wanted to make sure that if we couldn't remember his name before we finish, somebody needs to give us that name because I don't want this show to be like we're taking one side versus the other. How we would remember,
speak for yourself.
Carmelo Anthony's name and not remember the young man that lost his life as well. So I just want to make sure that we knew his name too.
Yeah, and I didn't. What I wanted to hit on wasn't even
right.
It doesn't pertain mostly to what happened because the thing about it is no, we weren't there, so we don't know exactly what happened. And I read the police report, but police report, I ain't gonna say it was vague, but it was kind of, it gave you a little information, but not, you ain't get no witness accounts or whatever. And my thing is the people who were there, I want to know what they have to say about it. the other students, and I know they might be shook up in this and that, but I would definitely want to hear, you know, their take on it. But for those that hadn't heard the story or heard the news clip about it, basically, Karmelo Anthony, young black kid, was at a track meet, and he was sitting on under the other team's tent, and one of the other fellas from, you know, the school who had the tent up asked him to leave, and then tried to forcibly remove him from the tent. The young man told him, "Don't touch me, or it's gonna be some trouble." And once he grabbed him and pushed him, the young black guy stabbed the young white guy in the heart, and he died. Tragic. I mean,
They're tragic.
right, wrong. You know, it's so many layers to it. I'm gonna start off with you, ShoNuff. What's your initial take on what I just said?
You mean on like the racial divide about it, or
No. We gonna do who right, who wrong.
Oh,
defend yourself. Bully accusations. What is your take on the situation that happened?
well, and I can only surmise my summary from what we've seen, what we've read, credible things that we've seen and read. Because my question when I first heard about it was, why did he have the knife? Why did he feel the need to have a knife? Why did he feel the need to carry this knife? And through research, I see that this was not the first time that this Austin had, messed with him. So in essence, it seemed like to me, he was ready for Austin if Austin had came to him. And unfortunately, Austin came to him with the mess like he been doing, probably been bullying him as they said. And who ain't, if you think back, how many times somebody that been bullied at school, what you gonna, if you ain't got access to a gun, what you gonna bring and have on you to school? A knife. You're gonna bring that kitchen knife. You're gonna bring whatever knife you got your hands on. Well, no, we passed the fist, but we know they ain't doing that. And I think because Austin had a twin, so with two of them that was bullying him. So I don't think the fist was gonna win. I think in his mind, his young mind, he felt like he had to have a weapon, and the knife was what he chose. Now, of course, it's conflicting reports about what actually happened. Did he say something to him? Did he approach him, and did he tell him twice to leave me alone? And if you keep, do it again. And Austin did it again, and he chose that knife to use to defend himself. And unfortunately, Austin Metcalf had to die. I mean, he died. So as far as that's the way I see that it happened.
Terry? And I'm gonna ask some follow-up questions, but Terry, I want to hear what you say first.
No, this is something that I've done a lot of research on. There's a lot of platforms that I look at in evidence that I've seen. My conclusion is now, as far as the knife is concerned, I was told that it was common for them to carry that knife in the state that they have the weapons. I think 5 inches or less is really not considered a deadly weapon. First of all, if 5 inches or less. So if you're 6, you may be in a little trouble. I also, doing some research, found out that it was common for the athletes to carry those because they get the stuff out of their cleats. It does something they use it to get the dirt, mud, something dealing with their shoes. Okay, so to me, if that is true, I'm not saying it is or not. This is just what the stuff that I've been reading, what I've been hearing, and I've been hearing it consistent on platforms, is that if that is true, you can take away the premeditation part, like he wanted to kill him and all that type of stuff right there. You can just remove that out the window. Number two, do you know what's the reason why that they haven't showed that video? One of the main reasons they haven't showed that video, and I'm not taking sides, but one reason they haven't showed that video, because I can get just about guarantee what I'm about to tell you now. There were 2 eyewitnesses to that were Caucasian that sided with Karmelo Anthony. There were 2.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been more, but I know 2 for sure that sided with him that did not end up in the police report. So again, like you were saying earlier, yeah, you can read the police report, but they can leave out a lot of stuff. They left out a lot of stuff in the police report with the pastor that we talked about a few weeks ago. So you can't, that ain't just face value what that police report said. So in all, I really think that they're taking their sweet time with this situation, because the DA is in a tough situation, because guess what? They know they got to, unfortunately, I really feel like he's going to have to do a little bit of time. And the reason why, my opinion, the reason why is because if he gets off, it's to them, it's open season for black people to, if you're bullied or whatever, to be able to go after you and do whatever. It's easy for you to do. If he gets off, then what about bullying? So bullying doesn't mean anything. So it's sort of like a catch-22 on that. Somebody's going to be very, very upset with the outcome. You know what I mean? So it's Sherita, this is my opinion.
I can disagree.
I just think you hate disagree, but this is my opinion. And I just feel like you can't win. The DA ain't gonna be able to win with this right here. Because you're gonna declare open season. If they sit up there and don't let this boy do no time at all, they think it's gonna be open season for us to sit up there and be able to do that.
Well, this the only problem I have. I know what you're saying, but when you say that, it seems like we just wait. We just give us the excuse that we can do this, and we're just gonna unleash all this blackness on all these white people.
Right.
No, that ain't what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
That is what you're saying.
Okay. Well, Sherita told you what I'm saying. Go
I
ahead.
mean, it's what you said.
Okay, that's what. Okay.
I'm just saying it kind of sounds like that's what you're saying. Like if he get off now, you gonna constantly be hearing about black kids stabbing white kids.
White kids.
You know, now if you just say if we just relegate it to bullies getting stabbed, then that's one thing. But when you say it's gonna give a black people free reign to just go do what they want to do, I don't think that's what I would hope. That's not what we lead to. But again, that's your opinion. So you good. That's your opinion. But I don't know if that's how it would be, and it shouldn't be that way. But I'm gonna ask this question. We don't necessarily know for 100% sure that these twins were bullying him. I mean, we heard stories, and I read other stories that said, no, that's not even their character. So we don't know. Seem like a bully, you know. But my next question, the premeditation, yeah, I think they can. I don't think it was premeditated. Like, I'm going to this track meet and I'm gonna kill him. I don't think that was in his mind. It might have been in his mind. If he mess with me, then I'm gonna have to do what I gotta do. Maybe he realized, hey, the dude too big for me. I can't take him. So, but we don't know. Now, the question that I would ask you guys is this: If you got some bullies under this tent, why are you even over there?
He was there first.
Under the other team's tent, though.
But no. They said this a school tent. It wasn't that it was just that team's tent. It was a school tent. So he was free to sit wherever he wanted to sit.
So when you say
that's not the case. That's not what happened.
So they paid. So the twins paid for the tent.
The twins them had a tent because he asked permission of his coach to go over there to their tent. That he went over to. They had separate. All that stuff was separate. He got his coach's permission. His coach was on the record saying that he gave him the okay to go over there.
That's like if we playing East, Treadwell versus East. Why am I wouldn't be on the East tent. I'm just conflict solutions. If you scared or you feel threatened or you feel bullied, don't even put yourself in that position. Now, part of the story was, well, he got some friends that go there and they go to the school, they on the track team, and he was sitting over there with them. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That okay. But when Austin approached him, he shouldn't have had to do anything. His friends should have intervened. His friends should have said, "No, dog, he over here with us. He good."
Right.
So now that's why I'm saying I want to know what happened. Why is it such a why is it because he had to be over there for a reason. I don't think he just went over there to say, "I'm finna sit down over here in their tent and I'm not gonna move." I don't think that was the case.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. He got a squeaky clean record. Squeaky clean. There's nothing that he ain't even spit on the concrete. That young man,
he an honor student and all of that.
Honor student and all that. Yeah. So as far as his intentions of going over there starting something, I just heard them boys over there were super huge. Those twins.
They play linebacker, so he gotta have some size to him. So and that's what I'm saying. It's like, but even still, like, okay, man, you don't want me over here. I mean, I'm just saying. Sometimes, you ain't got to play the big bad wolf. Y'all don't want me over here under y'all tent, man. I'm out, man. I'll holler at y'all later. I'm gone.
But why can't it be the other way around? That why do you want to be a big bad wolf and try to make somebody leave from under a tent? It's not that big of a deal. You don't have to sit by him.
But it is. Because if I got a tent set up at Treadwell, I don't want no East people sitting up under my school tent. That's just a competition and athletic thing. That's not.
So don't walk away from that. But he should have walked away. In essence, really, both of them could have walked away. It's not that it shouldn't have just been on Karmelo to have walked away. I don't see that.
Well, I think what Daryl is pretty much trying to say is that if based off of what you said, ShoNuff, that the bullying this wasn't the first time of the bullying, why would I even want to go over there and y'all over there? I'm like, I probably would want to sit up there and stay away. If I know that, okay, they bully me, they be bullying me all the time, even though my friend is over there with them, I probably have to catch up with my friend later because I don't want nothing to go down. And you see, he was serious about what he said. If you touch me, this is what I'm going to do and all that. So I already know you got your mindset that it's possibly that it may be trouble. Use your sixth sense and just sit up there and say, you know what? I ain't going over there.
We're talking about we're talking about 17-year-olds, not 50-year-olds, not 40-year-olds, not even 20-year-olds. Their frontal cortex ain't even completely, they don't have those decision-making skills completely yet. So we can't say that he should have just thought, oh, well, yeah, I probably shouldn't go over there. He's thinking as a 17-year-old. I can sit here. I can sit here if I want to. Okay, I shouldn't have to move. I'm not saying, I'm in no way saying, I understand completely what you're saying there, that if it's the East and the Treadwell, I ain't finna go sit up on the East side because I know it's going to be some trouble. I understand that. But what I'm trying to say is just because I sit on East side, that don't mean y'all got the right to come over and harass me. They
We're
don't
not
give you
denying
the right
that,
to do it.
but no, we ain't denying that. The people was definitely wrong for provoking him and making him do what he do. So I'm not taking their side. I'm just saying him as the individual to stop that from happening. What happened happened, and the guy again, he passed away. But that's what happens when you sit up there and you bully people. So I'm definitely not taking his side. I'm on the side of Karmelo at the, if the facts, what they're saying is true, as long as is that. But I think the thing about it is, what's the difference between, this is why I want to ask both of y'all. This is the question. What constitute, like you said, you have the right to use deadly force to protect your life. What did those kids have to do to him to make you want to say that I want to take his life versus, I could have sit up there and defended myself, jabbed him in the arm or do this or do this just to let you know I mean business versus a deadly to the chest. What constitutes that?
I think we get the law completely misconstrued when we say you could have just shot him in the leg, you could have just stabbed him in the arm. That doesn't have to happen. Of course, not saying he knew the law and he was applying the law, but I'm just saying we go straight to that. Why didn't you do the lesser thing instead of doing the most deadly thing? That you don't, according to, well, I don't know about where did this happen? In Dallas, Frisco? I don't know about
Yeah,
there.
this was Frisco. They got some crazy rules, and that's why I was asking.
If you don't, all it has to be in my mind, I have to feel threatened. You don't have to have a gun, you don't have to have a knife, you don't have to have a rock, you don't have to have anything. In my mind, if I feel that I am in danger, I can protect myself with whatever it becomes a slippery slope of the amount of force that you use, when you do it, but still.
Well, that was my question. But see, that's what I question, the amount of force. Because I'm not speaking as I'm asking y'all that question. I'm acting like we're in the courtroom now. So the prosecution is sitting up there saying he with the deadly force and all that, and then you got the other side saying, hey, well, they did this to cause him to do the deadly force. So I was asking what the two twins did to him. Did it justify deadly force, or like did he go to the extreme is what I'm asking. And I'm just talking as far as about in the courtroom.
Yeah, that's what the courts will decide. That's what the courts are going to decide. That's what the courts are going to decide. Was he, and I like what Adrian said, where she said that he said, do it if you touch me. Because then I already know what I'm finna do to you if you touch me again. Because at that point, he could have possibly walked away. But he might have felt like, if I walk away, they're going to jump me. I don't know. We don't know what was in his mind.
You know what, Lily Mae? That is a good point. And they are going to use that. It's sort of like, yeah, you vocalize. So I'm pretty much telling you, you do this and see what happens. So in his mind, he could have meant something else, but by him vocalizing his threat like that, I'm sure that the prosecution is going to use that tough in court. So that's a good point.
Yeah, but you know why you say that? You say that because you really don't want him to touch you again.
No, I get it. I get it. But I'm just saying how they gonna take it and twist it and taking it, like I had in my mind all along that I was going to sit up there and do that, and that's not what he.
No. I'm saying when you scared or nervous and you saying that, you basically saying, I don't want to have to do anything, so please don't touch me again. Mm-hmm. Because now it come down to, because once you made the threat, now you gotta follow through with it. Because if you don't, your word will never mean anything when you meet up with him again.
Okay, absolutely. But the words you just said, are you sure that's what he said before he stabbed? That's going to be the key.
That's what was
okay, because I heard something different. That's why I was when Daryl said that. Huh?
What did you hear that was different?
Some to the I can't just quote it directly, but keep on, and I'm gonna show you that type of, sort of like more
Same thing.
so.
See the
No,
first.
no. The wording on that is going to be sort of critical, because the way Daryl explained it, or what he heard, I get that part. But if you sit up there and say, I tell you what, you put your hands on me, I got something for you. That's different than what Daryl sit up there and said, hey, don't do that. I wouldn't want to have to. It's the wording is going to mean everything.
Yeah, what I read, he basically the guy told him to leave and kind of approached him, and he put his hand in his backpack, and he made the comment, if you touch me, it's gonna be something.
I got something for you or something like that.
It ain't, pretty much saying, if you do touch me, it ain't gonna be pretty for you. And he stabbed him. I mean, it wasn't a fight. It was just the guy grabbed him and he stabbed him and killed him. Right. So I mean, that's what I'm saying though. When you say that, when you put that out there, you got to do it at that point. You got to do something. I ain't saying kill nobody. I'm saying at that point, as a man, you know, it's like they tell you, you pull a gun, you better shoot it.
Right. Right.
So
and I don't think I'm just guessing. I do not think in his mind, I'm going to kill him if he touch me again. I think in his mind, I'm going to use this knife to get him up off me if he get up on me. I don't think
that's the way I took it. That's the way I take it.
Like, I'm finna kill you.
I agree with you.
I agree with you. You stabbed in the heart.
You're
trying to kill. You ain't looking.
But no, I'm saying I don't think he was, I'm finna aim for his heart and stab him. I don't think that happened. I think he just stabbed him. You know, if you can stab somebody, you just stabbing them in the chest. If that's
you know what? Until they come out with that video, and I'm just, and like I said, just from the platforms that I've heard, that video would put him in the clear. It's just what I've been hearing, that video would pretty much clear his name.
Well, they need to put
and they hadn't put it. Yeah, but they sort of like what they did with the pastor. I mean, remember how we all was, you gave your view, ShoNuff gave her view. We kept saying, well, we hearing this, and we all heard different things and all that. And then when we finally saw the video, and I think we all ended up with the same conclusion after we saw the video.
Okay, so here's one account that I'm gonna read. So it says that multiple witnesses who respond to the scenes that Anthony had been seated under a tent for Memorial High School when the confrontation began. Metcalf allegedly told Anthony that he could not sit under the tent since he did not go to the school. At that point, a witness said Anthony grabbed the bag and reached inside of it before telling Metcalf, touch me and see what happens. The witness said Metcalf then grabbed Anthony to tell him to move. You to put your hands on me. Anthony then allegedly took out a black knife and stabbed Metcalf once in the chest before fleeing the scene.
I'm gonna say this.
I
might get crucified for it or whatever, but that ain't no reason to stab nobody.
I'm not saying it's a reason to stab. That's just what it is.
I agree. And Lily Mae, you hit the nail on the head. When you verbalize that, sit up there, that threat, and based off, I'm just going off what ShoNuff just got to read. And this is just my opinion. But based off, he had his intentions. He may not mean it, but that wording, the verbalizing that threat, and from the way it sounded, I'm just saying it's gonna be it's gonna be a whole tricky thing. It can go either way.
And see, that's the thing about it. It could go anyway, and like you said earlier, either way it goes, some side gonna be upset. Here's the only thing that I'm trying to say, and this is what I want to employ to everybody. You ain't got to be the big bad wolf. You ain't got to be the baddest man on the planet. Sometimes it's better to. Now I guarantee you, if he could do it over, he would just get up and leave from under that tent. It don't make you less of a man because you decide to walk away. It makes you smart. It eliminates all of this, us talking about it, the media talking about it, you know, and all of that. It eliminates all of that. But unless y'all got something else to say, because I want to go to, we almost at an hour, and I ain't even brought up the point that I wanted to bring up, to be honest with you.
Well, I just want to say one more little thing, that if we talk, I keep saying we're talking about 17-year-olds. So they ain't got the wherewithal to think that far ahead and you know, not giving excuses for either side. But I just think, you know, we're dealing with kids here. And
here's the one thing. Here's the one thing I want to say about what you said though. If it's true that he had been being bullied, right? If they had been bullying him in the past, if that's true, then that changes a lot right there, because that means you knew the threat and you still put yourself in harm's way. So that's
I won't say you put yourself in harm's way, because I mean, just because it could have been anybody.
Where's friends at? Where is friends at? That's the question I want to ask.
Maybe
you using that word too lightly, because evidently he didn't have any. Because if he didn't go to that school. No, that's not what he went over there and sat with some friends over that. Evidently he has some people that he knew from friends over there. If that was your friend, it should not have escalated to that point.
Thank you. That's the point I'm making.
But who's to say they were around at the time that it happened? They could have been
so why he under their tent if his friends ain't over there?
Yeah, friends ain't over there. Why he under?
I'm saying, okay, us three done went to the thing. Y'all two done went to the concession stand. Y'all not with me. That's what I'm saying could have happened.
Hell, I'm going to the concession stand. Which one I'm gonna sit on? Why am I going to sit on Sherita?
Y'all talking about 17-year-olds, not 50-year-olds.
Okay, let me ask you something, Sherita.
We move like that.
Because you like to fight. You
move like that.
You used to like to fight. So you mean tell me
you a lie.
Your arch enemy, if you and your two of your friends are sitting over there in a group, and you got a group of ladies that were bullies, always have been bullies to you, sitting above you. Your two friends are going to the concession stand. You mean to tell me you ain't walking to the concession stand with them, and you just gonna sit there up there, and you know them three bullies are sitting up there in the stands up there? No, Sherita, no. And if you do,
age 17, I don't know what could have happened.
Well, we'll leave it at that. We gonna run a quick commercial, and then we come back. We gonna hit on what I really wanted to talk about, but we're only gonna hit on it for a minute because I'm trying to end this thing, and we still got Dummy of the Day, and we still got some show news. So we gonna run this commercial right quick, and then when we come back, we gonna try to wrap up everything real quick.
When it comes to buying or selling real estate, the right agent can make all the difference. Choosing the right partner means less stress, smarter decisions, and a better outcome. Here are 5 reasons why Tanya is a professional you can trust to guide you through your real estate journey. Local expertise you can count on. Personalized approach, proven track record of success, cutting-edge marketing strategies, and dedicated support every step of the way. Real estate transactions can be complex, but she is here to guide you through every detail, from the first consultation to the closing table. Tanya can provide clear communication, expert advice, and unwavering support to ensure your success. Ready to take the next step? Let's make that real estate goal a reality. Call her today at 901-870-5337 to schedule a consultation.
That's my home girl, Tanya Covenant, class of 88, Treadwell High School. Got all your any house you want, she got you.
Hey D, I'm gonna make an executive call here. I think let's hold off on the dummy of the day. This subject is too good, and I want you to get your point out and the rebuttals off of it. So I'll bypass and hold my dummy to the day to the next segment. To the next show.
I was waiting for LaTonia to come back with the information she said she had on some type of text message. LaTonia, give us that info.
Yeah, give us that info.
So is it something that he posted pre
I'm sure it was pre.
incident?
He couldn't have
Well,
posted. He couldn't have posted.
Wasn't after he was dead.
no. Oh, I thought she was saying that was his twin brother posting it. That's why I said that.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Oh,
And maybe that was then.
let me.
Did she say that the twin that was no? She said the twin that was unalive posted, so it had to be before.
Let me see if I can pull it up. What did
Miss Henley? Why are you trying to start something?
she ain't starting none? She said the truth.
I mean, you can win if you're right. If you, but we all
right. If I'm right, but y'all always right?
No, we all are
That's what
entitled.
she's saying.
We're all entitled to our opinion. So your opinion is your opinion. So it ain't no win or loss in here. That's what I'm trying to say. She's trying to start something between the crew. Ain't no win or losses in here. We just voicing opinions. Come on the show and voice yours. Do we want to get a call in?
No, they can take my spot there because I got to. No, they can call in, but I got a sharp time.
Okay. Yeah, let's stick with that. Okay, let's run through this right quick. Here's the one thing that I didn't like. Now, the young man, whether you think he was wrong or right or whatever, here's the images that they put up of him. Now, I don't know where they found some of these other pictures, and of course, that's the mug shot at the top. And they found these other pictures with him holding a gun and the other picture. This is the learning moment for your kids right here. When y'all be on social media posting with weapons and the finger sign and all of that, it ain't really nothing wrong with it, but the narrative when something go wrong, these are the images they gonna put out. They're not gonna put out the images of you in your shirt and tie and you in your tracksuit and all of that. They're gonna put out these images to try to put a stain on your reputation. And I didn't like that.
How accurate are these pictures, first of all?
Well, they look like them, so I'm
not. With
AI generating photos just to make this boy look bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Unless you got it from a credible source, I'm not gonna even comment on these photos until I know that they are authentic.
And whereas the picture of the boys holding their AR-15s, they're rifles.
That's what I'm saying. That's the whole point that I'm trying to make. When the people who running the narrative, they will put these out, but then I gotta put out the bad stuff with the other person. That's the narrative that I don't like. I mean, I'm saying be fair with it all the way across the board.
Well, we know they ain't gonna never be fair about us. So
we just had the conversation on AI just a couple of shows ago, and this is the kind of stuff that'll get you killed. This is the kind of stuff that'll get you in trouble. Just not saying that these pictures could be fabricated. They could be AI generated. We don't know. That's the reason why a lot of times, we're gonna tell you the real talk, but I'm not gonna comment on things that I don't know to come from a credible source. And I'm not sure about these pictures.
Because that's the first time I've seen it.
This is the first time. Everything that I've read and I promise you,
I can't help it. I'm a good researcher.
No, you probably. I'm not. You the host for a reason. I'm not denying that. But y'all, I tell both y'all in a minute if y'all doing a show. I say y'all need to run this because I ain't just researching and up on it like y'all. But as far as this story is concerned, I've watched at least 5 different platforms of reputable people with their takes and all that. And this is the very first time I saw that picture.
Yeah, and I was debating on whether I wanted to put it up or not, but I wanted to make that point that that's how the media spins it and puts it out there. They don't show you the good pictures. Like they always want to show something that's degrading or, and just so we can keep the show moving. It's a double standard.
Absolutely.
If y'all remember when Mr. Rittenhauser did what he did, this what really made me even want to talk about the story. Karmelo, his GoFundMe has raised about $300,000 for his defense.
It's more than that now. I think last that I heard is about almost $500,000.
Okay. Now here's the thing. This is what I don't like. When you go on social media and you reading all these, you read the story, and then I always go to the comments, because the comments is what kind of, it's either you learn something or you get disgusted. When I went on the comments, I just looked at it, and I didn't have to look at the profile picture or none. I knew if it was a black person commenting, and I knew when it was a white person commenting.
Yep.
Some of the stuff, the black people, of course, they defending the black boy and saying, self-defense and you shouldn't have put your hands on him and all of that. Okay. But some of the stuff that some of the white people were putting on there was just like insensitive, ignorant, and just, it made me so, like almost to the point of like, go back to Africa type of stuff.
Oh yeah.
And you go back and you look at Rittenhouse and you look at the comments, they okay with him raising over $1 million or $2 million for his defense fund. Nobody said anything about that. Why are you raising money for a killer? Why are you doing this? It was totally the opposite of how you treating this kid. And you say, and the argument is the same, self-defense.
Right.
The argument against him would be, you 17, you cross state lines with a weapon, you ain't got no training. Whether you was trying to do something honorable or not, you was out of place. That wasn't your position to do that. So it was wrong. Was somebody tried to jump him, he defended himself. What's the difference in somebody jumping Karmelo and him defending himself?
Absolutely.
So, I just don't like double standards. I don't like when, to Austin's father, his father made the point, hey, let's not make this a racial thing. He's saying it's a political thing. I'm just saying it's a life thing. It's a life thing. Hopefully the other, you hate that the young man passed away. You hate that. You hate that the 17-year-old who killed him, he probably having nightmares about that, because I'm sure that wasn't his intent.
Right.
So he going through something. His life, just like we was talking about the football player, his life, their lives have changed forever, regardless of how it come out, whether he get off or whether he go to jail. His life has changed forever. You just don't bounce back from that.
Right.
But I just, and it'll never be like it's supposed to be. But I just don't like how, if it was black on black, you celebrate that. They killing themselves. If it's a white person killing a black person, you justify the white person being, doing that to the black person. But when you reverse it, you can't understand, and you try to make it seem like they're savages. And now, don't get me wrong, you come to some, you look at some videos and stuff from Memphis, and you almost damn near want to say, shit, some of these people are savages. The stuff that's going on in Memphis now, little babies getting killed downtown. You can't even go downtown and enjoy yourself. But that don't paint a broad brush on every black person.
Absolutely.
So I'm getting a little emotional. So that was all I wanted to put out there. I don't know if you want to do your show news, we can go to that. I won't change that. Probably is never gonna happen.
Yeah.
Especially now, the climate that is, I don't even want to talk about that food, but especially now, it's only gonna get worse, because from the last time it was an uptick in racist rhetoric, and now again here it is, another uptick in racist rhetoric. So yeah, I don't see anything changing anytime soon. We can pray for it and hope for it, but I don't think it's gonna happen. And then, like, now on that thing, when you post a cow, so people talking about, well, why did he have a knife? Why did Kyle Rittenhouse have a AR-15? So he can have an AR-15, but this boy can't have a knife. Like, you know, but it's always a racial divide when it comes to stuff like this.
So and see this, you know, in the, you know, sometimes you have to look at the parent. It's like if Haley came to you and said, "Hey, let me take your gun. I'm finna go over to Arkansas to protect a building." You gonna look at her like she crazy. Girl, you better sit your butt down. You ain't going nowhere. His parents pretty much encouraged him.
Drove
Yeah,
him.
go
His
ahead.
mama drove him there.
Yeah. So you I don't talk about that no more. I'm cool with that. Because now I'm going all in a whole different direction that I want to go into. You got some show news you want to say so we can go ahead and close the show out, or what you want to do?
I got
Here, you gotta go.
Huh?
You gotta go right now.
I got to go in a few. Yeah.
It's on you, ShoNuff.
I'll go ahead and no, because now I'm like you. I done got a little teed
Yeah, I ain't want to get like that. Look, we don't talk. We ain't look.
Latonia, just email if you find it, email it to us, okay? So we can probably just put it on the page.
Yeah, we'll follow up with it some kind of way.
Now, what I want to know is, before I get up out of here, are we gonna provide coverage of the Diddy trial? You know that's coming up May 5th. You know that's coming up May 5th. So I want to treat that like WrestleMania. I want to leading up to it. What's going on? What you think is going to happen? What's the new?
I'm hearing. I'm hearing he gonna get off.
I'm hearing a little bit. I'm hearing a little bit too. But I'm just saying that's going to be some interesting stuff. But I know we got less than 3 weeks, and that's finna to kick off. So that'll be something good. So if you guys, got any kind of questions, huh?
Is it going to be aired?
I'm not sure. Is it federal? Is it if they can't do federal?
Oh, it ain't. Yeah, I think it is federal charges he got called.
Okay, because you can't have cameras inside of a federal. It's got to be. It can't be federal. That I do know.
Okay.
If it ain't federal, we can see it. But if you got email us some topics and questions about that.
Let me try this one more time.
Oh, okay. Okay. We would like for you to like, share, and subscribe. In the lower left-hand corner, hit that notification bell. But not only hit that notification bell, make sure you select all. So anytime we go live, whether it's any one of our platforms, Real Talk, all the stuff that we do, the Sports Talk Show, what else we do? Matters of the Heart, yeah, Real Talk, all that stuff. You'll be notified instantly. And right below ShoNuff, if you notice her shirt, Daryl, he's a good boss. He's a good boss. He ordered us some shirts, and ShoNuff is sort of modeling that shirt that we just got. If you notice on her sleeve, we got that same QR code. So when we out in public, you can sit up and take your cell phone, put it up to that QR code. You can find our thing and you can like and subscribe that way. So if you want to buy a shirt, it's going to come with the QR code, and you can do some self-promotion for us too. But for right now, right below Sherita, you'll see the QR code. You can scan your phone there. You can go ahead and like, share, and subscribe right there. And as always, we ask everyone to share this live, share this post, share our platform, tell 5 people, and don't tell the same 5 people. We tell you that every week. Tell 5 different people that we told you last week. We want to pass this around,
Unless the first 5 ain't subscribed yet, then you can tell them.
Right. And if you still asking the same 5, and we done did about 15 shows already, it's probably time to go to another 5. They probably is not going to do it. But watch them do it. I mean, we trying to, make this thing go a long way. We love what we do. We don't see this ending for the foreseeable future. This sort of where you can just sit back and relax, sort of like the barbershop, where you can sit up there and let your hair down in the comfort of your own home, and you can just talk about things, real things that's going on in the world. And like Daryl always say, every show, we just don't be doing shows. We always try to do something where everybody can learn something from it. not only you guys, but us as well. Because we don't pre-do our show where I know what ShoNuff gonna say or they know what I'm gonna say. We all just speak, our mind and all that type of stuff. So I may learn something from ShoNuff that I didn't know before the show. So
Nephew, how you like that new shirt you got? In the clutch.
Oh, he got one?
Yeah, I got him one.
Hey,
Him and Pack
nephew.
got one. So you know I'm in trouble. I got to get John Ella one.
Wait a minute. Look here. Y'all got to take a picture with y'all shirts. Y'all got to take a picture with y'all shirts. Send it to Daryl so we can advertise it on the show. We can show we got viewers actually wearing our product. So take a picture with your shirt on, front and back. You know how y'all women step your little toe out to the side, do all that, do that, take your picture, send it to Daryl, and we're gonna share some of these photos on there on live on the air next week.
Pat
It's good
Xavier.
advertising.
Pat Xavier, I'm looking to get those pictures soon.
Yeah.
But I know you got to get out here.
Hey,
Xavier says fine.
quick thing. Yeah, so quick thing. The shirts they got the QR code too?
Yeah. Everybody got the
Okay. So ain't no excuse. So let's see. Sherita, go and see how many subscribers we got right now. You got 3 people with the scan shirts. I challenge each one of you to get 5 people to use their cell phones to scan your shirt. So we should have 15 new subscribers at least by you 3 by next week. You got the shirts. It ain't no excuse. You ain't got to even talk to them. Show them your sleeve. Tell them, get their phone out, let them scan it, make sure they like, share, and subscribe. I challenge y'all to get 5 apiece. So whatever we at our subscribers right now, we should add 15 to that with Xavier and my people.
We are currently at 240.
Okay, so 255. Next week we need to be at if Xavier, if we ain't at 255, don't show up next week. Don't show. No, Xavier, that ain't doing us no good. You creating 5 accounts, man. Come on, man.
5. That's all we need.
Look, it's cheating.
That's cheating.
It's cheating, but
hey.
No, that's false numbers. We trying to get out there to the public, and we gonna send it to him 5 different times on 5 different platforms. And we wonder, hey, we got 5 people finna come to the show, and it's Xavier 5 times.
Hey,
come on, man.
Hey, it is what it is.
Miss Patricia, you know I love you. You know I love you. Now you take that picture with that shirt on now, because I want to see that. She
said tomorrow she gonna have it to me. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see that because that's the number one fan. That's I'm her number one fan. And we're gonna promote you on the show next week, guaranteed.
I think you more her fan than she.
Right.
But anyway,
probably so.
But anyway, another great show. I hope y'all been checking out the sports stuff that we put out. We don't did 2 sports shows. We didn't go live, but we recorded it and put it out on Facebook, YouTube, and all of that. Hope you guys enjoying that. We're gonna get some reels sent out from this show. And I got emotional, but it is what it is. And I really wanted to put the number out there and have some call-ins. I knew I wanted to hear from Mr. Holmes, but maybe he'll talk to me on a personal level, and we'll have a conversation about that. I really wanted to talk to him about that, but we need more than 2 minutes for him to discuss that. But anyway, great show. We're gonna close things out. We'll see you guys next week, same bat time, same bat channel. And we should be doing Matters of the Heart next week. So it should be some good relationship stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And with that being said, we're out of here.
Happy Tuesday.